remember the first time it happened. The silence between us felt heavier than words. Clara stood by the window wearing nothing but one of Mark's oversized shirts. The fabric hung loosely, barely buttoned, moonlight tracing the curve of her silhouette. When our eyes met, she didn't move. Her lips whispered, "Go to bed, Ryan. This isn't right." Yet her eyes told me something entirely different. I hadn't sought this. When Mark married Clara, I was 21, still trying to accept that my life had shifted. He met her on a business trip to Colorado, and within 3 months, she was living in our house, rearranging photos, replacing faded memories with brighter versions of us, versions that erased Mom. Clara was impossible to ignore. Early 30s, tall, poised, with green eyes that seemed to pierce through whatever defenses you had. She didn't need to speak loudly or demand attention. She simply existed in a way that made resisting her almost impossible. I told myself it was temporary, just a fleeting discomfort. But then Mark left for a weekend retreat with his law firm colleagues, and it was just me and Clara in the house. She offered to make dinner. I should have refused, but I didn't. The kitchen felt smaller with just the two of us. She poured wine, ignoring that I wasn't yet of legal age. We spoke of nothing important, college, work, mundane plans, but her gaze lingered. When I looked up, she didn't look away. Later, in the living room, she curled up on one side of the couch, wine in hand, the air dense with unspoken words. "Do you hate me for marrying your dad?" she asked softly. I froze. "No, I don't hate you," I admitted. "You barely notice me," she whispered, "like I'm invisible, like I don't exist." "I just don't know where I fit anymore," I said. She paused, then whispered, "I don't know where I fit either." That was the moment I began to see Clara as more than just Mark's wife. She was human, lonely, pretending everything was fine. That night, sleep evaded me. I came downstairs, and there she was again, at the window, the moonlight wrapping around her like a veil. Our eyes locked, and her quiet, unsteady voice broke the tension. "Go to bed, Ryan, this isn't right." Neither of us moved. The room seemed to pulse with everything left unsaid. In that suspended moment, something had shifted. An invisible line crossed, and I knew our lives were about to become dangerously entangled. The days that followed felt like slow, quiet torture. Clara acted normal, smiling casually, asking simple questions, but every glance lingered longer than it should. Every accidental touch sparked a charge that neither of us could ignore. I tried to keep busy, staying out late, picking up extra shifts at work, but she left little notes around the house. "Eat something, laundry's done, don't forget your charger." Each one ended with a small smiley, a subtle claim of her presence in my life. One morning she made pancakes, humming softly, her hair still damp from the shower. I thanked her. She smiled without looking at me. "Don't thank me." "Your family," she said, her words carrying a weight I couldn't quite place. Was it a reminder or a warning? I didn't know, and part of me didn't want to. When Mark returned Sunday night, Clara laughed at his stories, touched his arm, the perfect wife in every way. But when I walked past, she brushed lightly against me and whispered, "Sleep okay this weekend?" My heart skipped. Weeks blurred together, each day building tension I tried desperately to ignore. Then came the stormy night I'll never forget. The power flickered as I worked in the garage on my bike. Clara walked in, drenched from the rain, barefoot, shivering. "I locked myself out," she said softly. I handed her a towel, trying not to look, but her blouse clung to her skin, and for a moment, time slowed. "I miss being seen," she whispered suddenly. Really seen. Not as a trophy, not as a possession. Just seen. I looked at her, the woman who always appeared perfect, yet carried so much hidden pain, and I spoke words I shouldn't have. "I see you." She stepped closer. Her hand brushed my face, tentative but deliberate. Then she kissed me. Quiet, inevitable. A kiss full of guilt, confusion, and undeniable truth. She pulled away first. "This can't happen again." I nodded, but deep inside, I knew it wasn't over. The next morning, she acted as though nothing had changed, smiling, pouring coffee, sitting beside Mark like always, but she wouldn't meet my eyes. Silence filled the space between us. Until one afternoon I came home early. She was in the laundry room, mascara smudged, eyes red from tears. "He forgot our anniversary," she whispered with a broken laugh. "Rescheduled it like a dentist appointment." I stayed silent, just watching. Then she hugged me, desperate, trembling. "You make me feel like I still exist," she admitted. That night, it changed everything. We were walking on the edge of something dangerous, pretending not to fall. Every touch, every glance carried the weight of forbidden desire. The line between right and wrong blurred with each passing day, and neither of us wanted to step back, not fully. The day Mark discovered my phone changed everything. A picture I had taken of Clara by accident, her hair caught in the wind, smiling at something I'd said, was too intimate, too real. "Why do you have this?" he asked, suspicion sharp in his voice. I had no answer. Clara covered instantly. "It's for my birthday slideshow," she said smoothly, but I knew he didn't believe her. After that, Mark watched us closely. Clara pulled away, the warmth between us vanishing like smoke. She erased the traces of what had happened, retreating into the composed, untouchable wife everyone expected her to be. Weeks passed in silence, a constant reminder that our fleeting moments had consequences. Then, the night before I left for college, she knocked on my door. "I shouldn't be here," she said softly. "I know, I'm sorry." Her words trembled. I shook my head. "I'm not." She smiled, sad, beautiful, and complicated, and kissed me one last time. "I'll always remember you," she whispered, her lips lingering with the memory of everything forbidden. And just like that, she was gone. Sometimes love doesn't come with ribbons or happy endings. Sometimes it is tangled in guilt, buried in silence, sealed with a kiss you'll never forget. Clara had told me it was wrong, yet she let it happen. And so did I. We had walked on the edge of danger, letting emotions dictate our actions, knowing the stakes, knowing the cost. I left the house the next morning, carrying memories heavy with desire, regret, and truth. The world outside felt both familiar and alien, colored now by the intensity of what had occurred in the quiet corners of our home. Every smile, every casual touch, every whispered word replayed in my mind, reminding me of the line we had crossed, even years later. I remember her, Clara, the way she existed with elegance, the way she made me feel seen, the way forbidden love had carved a permanent mark on both our hearts. We were never meant to belong together, yet for a fleeting, impossible time we did. Sometimes, the most powerful connections are the ones that leave you longing, haunted, and aware that some love stories are not about happy endings, but about truth, intimacy, and the unspoken. Our story was one of stolen moments, subtle glances, and quiet passion, a story I carry unforgotten in the folds of memory, and in that knowledge lies a strange comfort. The world may judge, time may pass, but the intensity of what we shared remains untamed, immortalized in every heartbeat that remembers her.